Hey world builders, welcome back to Build Together. This is day 274. Today's prompt is, are there costumes in your world? What kind and what purpose do they serve? So I'm still recovering from the move, actually. For some reason today has hit me even harder and I am feeling it this morning. So I wrote something a little bit shorter than normal, but I have this concept called the Hora. There are four Hora. These are traveling bands of groups that sort of committed to a life of education and oddity, and they travel on these large circuits and they bring all of the things that they have to many different cities and towns and hamlets and settlements along the Itovian continent. Now, the Hora history goes way back into a lot of different things, and I've written about a chunk of it before for, I think, Built Together 124 or something like that, quite a long time ago. However, I had only ever written about one of the major four, and each one specializes in something specific, and the Ghent Hora, which I wrote about this time, specialize in these special costumes. They use these costumes to elaborately depict a lot of ancient figures and legends and myths from a lot of the stories that most people on the continent know, as well as the occasional more niche character that they think is interesting or that they think more people should know. They are also really well known for trying to keep their costumes to a certain sort of scale factor, and so they will take into account a lot of the legends, a lot of the descriptions that might already exist for something, or they will interpret as much as they can, and then they will build a very elaborate, a very large costume that they get as close to the size as they think they can get, or as close to a certain scale of the size that they think they can get. And oftentimes these costumes are so big and elaborate that they do require at least two of the Hora troop members to actually utilize and mobilize and get around the area. And then you'll need even a third to kind of tell some of the relevant legends and myths surrounding that given costume, the character that it depicts. For this reason alone, the Get Hora actually has the most individual members in the first place, at least sentient, because there are some that have a lot of animals, but there are far more sentient individuals than this Hora than any of the others, because you require someone in the costume, or two or three people in the costume, and then someone to describe what's going on, and you also have people to manage general audience and such. Because of the elaborate nature of these costumes, they break down very easily, and so there's a constant rotation, and some are always in repair and some are always being used. And this is sort of how they go about doing their thing across the continent. Are there costumes in your world? What kind and what purpose do they serve? Thanks for building together.